It starts the same every week. Yes, now we are live. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everybody.
every week, it's right for everybody watching. The last thing I hear before we go live, and you can hear it, is Dana going, Steve, are we live? Are we
Are we
live?
live
Are we
yet?
live?
Steve, are
And
we live yet?
she's giddy like a child going to an amusement park. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I like it.
So
I like
we
the
are
show,
there.
Steve. I like doing the show. We're
I
here. You're there. I'm here. Or
we are here. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Homebody, you say that about all the episodes, though.
We will be watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 3, Episode 20, Improbable Cause.
Wait. We're not going to the. We're not watching Lower Decks.
You delight me with your incredible sense of humor. No.
Wait.
Wish I could say the same for Lower Decks.
Hey,
no, we're not.
They laugh at all the jokes. They have a great sense of humor. They find things funny even when they're not. They're that good.
That's good. Matthew, thank you for the super chat there. I really appreciate that. Hi, Radical Bacon. Hi, everybody in the chat. So yeah, we're watching Improbable Cause, Deep Space Nine. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and get it queued up on your end. So when it's time for us to watch together, I can just count us all down and we can watch it. We're only watching the 4th best Star Trek, so we're going to disagree about that. Just Kringle.
255 AP. There you go.
A member of the BNP lives around the corner from me. Today, Rusty did a crap in front of his house. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I'm sure it was a beautiful crap, too.
So anyway, before we start watching the episode, let us indulge in our customary chitter chatter. So how have you been, Dana?
Overall, given that I'm not teaching, pretty good.
Yeah.
That's going to be a sticking point for the next 3.5 months. January.
Yep. You are facilitating.
I actually did get to do a teeny bit of teaching today because
you told me about this. Yeah.
The professor had to leave before the second class, and so she's like, here, this is the assignment that's next. Here's a handout about it, and then they'll have some time to workshop what they turned in earlier this week. And I was like, I got this. So I looked at it was on annotated bibliography. So it's like, okay, Purdue OWL, that's a resource they can use. Here's, what they're essentially putting together an annotated bibliography. So they'll have more sources than they actually are required to use for the next essay that they're doing. So it's like, okay, talked about that. I used the poem Like Lily, Like Wilson by Taylor Mali, which he talks about working with a student who is doing research and how her research changes what her perspective on what she's writing. The process of doing the research, and talked about how that's really the objective here, that the process of creating the annotated bibliography will help you decide what it is that you want to say, will guide your writing process as you go into the next phase of your writing assignment. And then went over that, and also went into here are some strategies when you're workshopping your writing with a classmate. Things that can help you approach it as a reader, and what are you curious when you read this? You're not, especially at this stage when they haven't even done their first rough draft yet. They're looking at the proposal. What are you curious about? What do you, based on what they said they're interested in, what do you want to know? What would help them prove their point or not? Have a conversation about it. So it reinforced how much I missed that.
Yeah.
Golly gee whiz. Oh, Radical Bacon. I have heard about Perror.
People on Twitter were losing their minds about Perror last week.
Mm-hmm.
They were not. I didn't hear about Trice, but Perror, I saw people on my Twitter timeline they were not happy. They were not having it at all.
I think was Trice the day before Perror?
I don't know.
No. I'm asking Radical
Oh
Bacon
yeah, Radical
because
Bacon. Yeah.
I saw something about it the day before I started seeing all about pear. So I heard people complaining about, this is the Wordle today sucked and da da da. I was
Well,
like,
and I
okay.
know.
Essentially, I'm curious. It makes me curious, but not curious enough to open it. Like I've never. I guess I go. You go to Wordle.com.
I just Google Wordle, right? It's hosted on the New York Times now, so I just Google Wordle and go to it.
There you go, and click the top link.
Click the link, yeah.
Too much
But
effort. I wasn't that
well,
curious.
you and I were talking about it on the phone, I think, that day, and you said, well, Wordle's been like a big thing for a few years now. They're probably running out of 5-letter words. I mean,
I
there's
mean,
only
not
so
like
many.
running out, but like of the really common ones.
Yeah.
Au pair was shooting before Trice.
Trice came later. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I stand by my statement then. It's gonna get worse rather than better.
Yeah, it's not going to get better.
Howdy is a 5-letter word.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got to do a little bit of teaching today.
I don't know if I told you. I have also signed up to do after school tutoring once a week.
You mentioned that to me. Yeah, you haven't.
Okay.
You haven't told the people, but yeah.
Yes, I've also signed up to do after school tutoring once a week. And it's gonna be on Wednesdays too, starting next Wednesday. So that's gonna be interesting. Speaking of which, I need to check in and see if that will let me get out of the following Wednesday. We've got a department meeting after school, but I'm kind of hoping that I can get out of that. Not because I want to miss the department meeting. I actually enjoy this. I mean, small meetings are great, especially
meetings,
they're cool. But the week after that is fall break, so I wouldn't be able to. I'll meet with the student like once, and then I've got a meeting, and then I've got fall break. So I'm like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's a little awkward. Yeah.
So and maybe I mean, last month we did a meeting before school, so.
Yeah. Chiss Kringle, I will say this for last week's Lower Decks.
Chris.
Well, Chiss, Chris, it looks like it's spelled Chiss.
No, it's C. Oh, it is.
It
is. Wow.
You see, you think you're fucking with somebody.
No, I don't. I would never say that.
You would never use that unless it was on your Patreon. Yeah, no, I thought last week's Lower Decks was by far the strongest episode of this season so far. It didn't. I mean, I still have the same problem that I've had with it all along, which is it did not make me laugh a single time. It did not make me laugh a single time, but it at least had two plots that did not lean on obnoxious Easter egg Star Trek references, which was nice. Nice change of pace. And yeah. And there were a couple moments that almost made me laugh. When Billups gives Shax one final weak little slap after he collapses in his arms, after he has his breakdown in engineering, and he musters the strength to just weakly slap him one more time. That almost made me laugh.
But not quite.
Not quite. Didn't quite get there. No.
Hey Azalea Jane, good to see you.
Hey Azalea.
And Homebody. Seeing game just the books are too long.
He does tend to write lengthy. He writes tomes.
I am, however, reading a horror novella. Is it Shout? Is it something? It's something Shout. Ring Shout.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good. So the premise is that the people who created the Ku Klux Klan were sorcerers.
Oh, were they?
Yes. And so they were looking for ways to gain power, as sorcerers so often do.
Indeed.
And so they performed a ritual that allowed them to imbue a film with demonic power. Can you guess, Steve, what film that might have been?
You're talking about the KKK, right? So I would assume the film is Birth of a Nation.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
everybody who watches that film gets infected, and some of them get turned into a sort basically kaiju. Like they manifest as
Wow.
kaiju. Yeah, except they're like they turn into like these bone beasts, and they have like sort of rhinoceros horns on them that they'll like, and yeah, it's and so
Wow.
yeah,
So they're
so
fighting racist kaiju.
yes, and
That is certainly a way to go.
it's and
That is a
it's
choice.
set in the 20s, I think it's set in 22.
Wow.
So one of the exactly JG, you see?
But yes, indeed.
Um, so yeah, so I'm pretty early on, but it's been really interesting so far. They they've got let's see. One of the monster hunters was in the Great War and learned about explosives, and yeah, it's just so far it's just really interesting. I'm just kind of it's I think it would be a faster read if my brain wasn't just tired. I've been reading a lot lately. I've got lots of time at school, which is great, but I'm still working on building up my reading stamina. And I did put a request. I've got In Transit is the next book in the Murderbot series, so that should be a nice, pretty easy read too.
There you go.
And
Azalea, I
David
don't.
C. Drake, no, the film was Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, yeah, and you're talking about a book you're reading, not Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country, and although Lovecraft Country was, it was uneven, but it was a very it there were a few episodes of it that were absolutely outstanding. I thought
Oh yes,
overall it
yes.
was
I'm
kind of
sorry.
uneven, but yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
Lovecraft
no,
Country
no, no.
was an HBO
Yeah, this.
TV show a
Yeah,
few years ago.
no. This book is it's called Ring Shout,
Yeah,
and I got it through my library.
yeah.
So
But anyway, yeah, Azalea. I haven't noticed. You mean like the episode counter includes the preview before the episode? Because I know sometimes I'll get like a trailer for something before the episode starts, but then once the episode starts, it's the episode starts at 0. So that's why I remind everybody, if you're watching it on Paramount Plus, go ahead and make sure you play through any previews and the CBS logo and all of that stuff before the actual proper episode starts. And then when the episode starts, make sure that you wind it back to 0 and you're paused at 0 at the start of the episode. Yeah.
and I've also, of course, want to talk about next week.
Next week.
Yeah, which it's not just an important day because I get to do tutoring.
It's not
next Wednesday. No.
What's next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday is the 28th, I think.
Yes. Correct. And what's special about next Wednesday?
I have a video that's gonna go public on Wednesday.
That's
and
right.
Normally I don't.
We're doing like a thing.
A thing.
Yes.
A concurrent video release.
Because we did. Well, I have a video. My video next Wednesday, which I have written but haven't shot yet, is another best Superman ever, and it's about Superman smashes the Klan. Speaking of the book you're reading, which deals with the Klan as a villain, Superman smashes the Klan, which is this wonderful comic book miniseries that came out a couple years ago. And so that'll be the subject of the next best Superman ever. And you just so happened to have just read it. You got it from the library in trade paperback.
I was like, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Steve. I want to talk about it.
So we recorded ourselves having a conversation about it like a month ago now, because I knew I had this. I knew I was going to do this at some point, but you had just read the book and you wanted to talk about it like right then. So
now, well, also I had to give it back to the library.
Oh yeah, and you wanted to have it there so you could have it in your hands and refer to it and stuff. But so we recorded this conversation about a month ago about Superman smashes the Klan, and that video will go up on your YouTube channel next Wednesday at the same time as my best Superman ever video goes up on this channel.
I think so. Your videos go up at 8 a.m., don't they?
Yes.
Okay, because I scheduled it for 8 a.m. Usually I release mine at 9, but I was like,
right.
I think it's 8.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could if you could change the time. Like you're not locked into that time.
Well, unless you change your script.
No, I mean if you like
Because
if
you
you
literally
schedule.
say in your video,
No,
that
but I'm
video is
saying
on.
if you had scheduled your video to come out at 9 and then but my video comes out at 8, you can just reschedule your video to come out at 8.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so no
if I
problem.
remember. But I was thinking
Yes,
about it
if
when
you
I put it
remember.
in. If I'd already
If
scheduled it for 9, we'd be in trouble.
yeah.
Well, buddy, I'm not even sure what it is. It's a little bit chewier than I'm used to. But yeah, we add some extra toppings. This one has extra fresh tomato and fresh spinach and bacon.
Sounds delicious.
Delicious.
And thank you for the compliment about my off the cuff human compost video that I put up a few hours ago, homebody. That what I say in the video is exactly what happened. I every morning when I get up, I my phone plays me the morning news updates, and I listen to it usually in the morning when I'm doing my workout. And one of the stories was California just legalized human composting, and I do get a couple things not exactly wrong in the video, but I didn't make it clear um, in the video that the human compost, it doesn't actually become legal until 2027. Like they passed the law so that it will become legal in 2027, but technically it's not legal yet, but it will be. But anyway, that's really beside the point. But but they also made sure to mention, well, the California Catholic League has a problem with it because they feel it's an undignified way to deal with human remains after death. And my initial gut reaction was, who fucking asked you? It's none of your business.
But Steve, I will point out that you don't have to be asked to have an opinion. I know this
No,
quite well.
I know, but who asked you is a super satisfying thing to say to someone in that situation.
Andrew, working in your jammies. I'm telling you, I am so spoiled. We
But
have
I
like
am very, yeah.
we have one extra jeans day a month. I do not care. I don't care. Jeans are not, when school was closed, we could wear pajama pants. It's just they're so nice. I love pajama pants so much, so much, you guys.
I am very sorry that you're still testing positive for COVID, though, Andrew.
That sucks.
It's nice that you get to work from home, but the reason why you get to do it is bad. So sorry about that.
Although I'm glad you're telling us that you're testing positive.
Yeah,
exactly, and
yeah,
not telling
us
feeling
bad.
Feel miserable.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah.
And thank you for staying home and not infecting people. So yay.
255 AD says, do you remember the Cold War and doing desk drills? I've been worrying about Putin escalating shit all day, and I don't get how boomers coped with this shit for 60 years. How old do you think I am? You think I remember, like, nuclear bomb drills in school? We never did that.
Dropping, duck and cover.
Duck and cover? We never did duck. I mean, we that era had passed by the time I was in school. We never did that. But, I mean, it was one of those things that everybody knew about, and we would sort of, can you believe they used to do that? Like, it seemed
like South Park, they made fun of it.
It seemed ridiculous to us, but it was like an everyday part of life. And it does seem just absurd. I mean, it's less absurd to me than like the active shooter drills that we have today.
That's what I was thinking.
And people, saying, well, let's just give them bulletproof backpacks and stuff like that, because at least nuclear war was partially out of our control. You know what I mean? Like you could rationalize that by saying, well, look, we need to tell kids what they're supposed to do in case of a nuclear strike because we can't control that. We can't control what the Soviet Union does to us. And we can't even control what our own government does in a situation like that. It's not like we all take a vote and then decide to launch a nuke. So like nuclear war could just happen and it's beyond any of our control. There's nothing we can really do about it. But school shootings is something that we could have done something about 25 years ago. And we just continue to refuse to do anything about it. So I think those active shooter drills that we put kids through today are more ridiculous than duck and cover drills, because duck and cover drills were part of a reality that the people doing them didn't really have the power to change. Whereas we can fix school shootings pretty much anytime we want. We just refuse to.
Andrew, I live in Georgia. And so I read that and was like, what?
Oh, you thought Birmingham, Alabama?
Why the hell doesn't NATO have its European Communications Center in Alabama?
That's not why they used to call it Birmingham. That was completely different.
Oh golly. I haven't
I haven't heard from him
recently. We did, I think he'd been in touch with Random Geek through the live stream that they do. I think he'd been on one of those, but as of the last Patreon chat, no.
Yeah. So I don't have an update. Hopefully he's still, doing well, but I haven't heard from him since the last time he was in the Patreon hangout. Birmingham original recipe. Birmingham. So it is now 21 after the hour technically. Would you like to begin? Would you like to watch the episode?
Let's do it. Yes.
All right. So again, hopefully everybody has the episode queued up and ready to go. And a reminder, if you are watching it on Paramount Plus, make sure that you have watched through any previews and the CBS logo that comes up at the beginning, and that you are paused at 0 at the beginning of the actual episode, which is season 3, episode 20 of Deep Space Nine, Improbable Cause.
Kemp, I think he's working.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's not able to be here during work.
Yeah, because he still shows up during my Friday live streams more often than not, but a lot of times he's been working. Okay, Dana, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right,
everybody keeps telling me it's a good episode. I hope I like it, and I don't.
I hope you like it too. And like I told you before we went on the air, I'd be interested to hear your reaction to Garrick and the Julian's discussion here at the very beginning. So, okay, here we go. I will count us in from 3. I will say 3, 2, 1, play, and we all hit play when I say play. So, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
Someone makes it a tragedy. Garrick, I know. Hey, I savor my food. Not appreciating your food, that's a tragedy. They're so gay. pissed off. So then why does it matter?
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun.
Uh-oh. Oh, now my clothes will definitely be late.
Are we gonna get the pieta? There he is. Carry him out in your arms. Come on, man.
That's what I said, Garrick. Hey, here's an idea. How about you replicate some pants out of the magic hole in the wall? Why do tailors even exist? Anyway, so what did you think of their
Steve,
what yes.
You're so obsessed with the magic hole.
You know?
Anyway,
what did you think of their Shakespeare talk while we watched
yeah,
the credits?
somebody already mentioned it's like a centuries in the future.
Yeah.
And still on Shakespeare. I don't know. But also
that means nothing to me. I mean, yeah.
Caesar's death isn't the tragedy. Caesar's death is not the tragedy. That's not at all what makes it a tragedy. It's not a tragedy because he didn't know. That's not it.
But
like that's the setup. That's the setup. Right. That's like
because Caesar dies halfway through the play. Like the play.
Yeah. Not only that, like it's historic. I mean, it's based on historical events. So like most people knew before the first act that Caesar was gonna die
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a good point. That is a really good point. Like, I mean, I guess Garrick wouldn't know all that much about Earth history, so it might have, he was going just from the text. But
right. That's what I got.
Yeah,
that
but most people,
like, I figured it out right away.
Most
that's
humans,
because it's
you would
a
think,
story, and there's setup, and there's foreshadowing and stuff.
And do you think there's some value in Bashir saying, well, it's a tragedy because Shakespeare couldn't see that his friend was going to betray him, because that's how do you think that there's some value in having Bashir say that, just because that's how most people who haven't read it or seen it probably assume, and just instead of trying to educate the viewers about Julius Caesar in 30 seconds, just
well, I mean, it speaks to the fact that neither of them is, familiar with those sorts of literary paradigms, like what a dramatic tragedy was. That's what it tells us, which is fine.
And Bashir is a doctor, not an English teacher, so
right. Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to know these things.
Right.
But they also don't talk about the fact that apparently both of them are aware of Shakespeare just because, well, it's Shakespeare.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They don't talk about the fact that it's kind of a self-perpetuating cycle. Like they're choosing to be aware of Shakespeare just because of the cultural relevance, and then that is what perpetuates the cultural relevance.
David C. Drake, in 300 years, only super nerds will be discussing Tolkien, but everybody will still be talking about Shakespeare. Garrick, wake up. It's time for the scene.
Oh, he's just needling. Oh, no. Andrew, I would be interested in hearing what support you have for that theory. Are you kidding?
It's one of my favorite Garrick lines, like that he tries to convince people that the reason he was exiled is because he didn't pay his taxes. Chiss Kringle, even more super nerds because the work of Chaucer and Beowulf is actually important.
Is it?
It's more important than Tolkien.
How so?
Anyone who seriously tries to put Tolkien on the same level as Shakespeare or Chaucer has just told me that they are a deeply unserious person. It's ridiculous.
Why?
It's like saying that Stephen King is as important as Shakespeare. You can like his work or not, but it's absurd to even try. Oh no, but because he wrote some books that some fucking nerds think are cool. It's ridiculous. Well, I like this bit too.
That's not what I heard. And you couldn't tell, could you? It's right in front of you, Caesar. You're assuming that he cares.
Garrick brought his A game for this one. Just Kringle, right? So it's ahead of Tolkien right there, just on that basis alone.
Forever.
You're not going to read over my shoulder the whole time, are you?
Dun dun dun.
I'm just playing. Yes, Garrick, that's where I was going with that. Thank you very much. A Flaxian bomb salesman, as
Dun
fate would
dun
have it.
dun.
What a nice pewter chess set. $255 AD, it's all a matter of opinion and personal taste. But I would say it's, in my opinion, I would say it's both. I mean, it's undeniably important in terms of its influence on Western writing, but I also think a lot of it is quite good.
Vilcott, I was admiring his hair as well.
Yeah.
They're so shiny.
And his whiskers, there's like his like tendril
little
like
fluff whiskers, yeah.
Any more brilliant questions, Chief? No, I can go. Thank you.
But I don't want you to. That's why I like Kira. She don't joke.
Yeah.
Like, Odo, don't you have the authority to like get rid of them?
I know. I mean,
Like,
the
why
obvious.
why are you having this conversation?
Yeah,
Totally
the obvious
unnecessary.
thought is Odo is chief of security. He can just pick him up and throw him out. But I love that Garrick talks his way into going on this mission by basically just sitting there and refusing to get up.
Blah 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 blah. Uh, um,
Whoops.
well, it went into warp in another way. Well, yeah, modern classic. I would say Twain is definitely an American classic. Hmm. Hmm.
Flaxative. I like that, Andrew. He was a flaxative.
Conjecture.
It's good enough for me. Azalea, that's even better. It was a flaxident. That's beautiful. Whatever. Well, I'll correct that record too.
Just one more thing.
There's just one more question.
See, exactly. He's got that gravelly voice and everything.
Yeah,
Just
he
just
basically
just needs the mustache.
he needs to give himself a rumpled raincoat.
Yeah. And a mustache.
Well, Columbo didn't have a mustache.
I know, but he should have.
Oh, okay.
Like in my I think it goes with the
Yeah.
thick bushy hair and the
Yeah.
thick
Every
bushy
time you
eyebrows. He needs a thick bushy
yeah.
mustache.
Every time you watch Columbo, you forget that he doesn't have a mustache.
I
Like, where's
know.
his mustache?
I can forgive the lack of glasses. He does not wear the glasses because he's not reading the book.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Chris Kringle, having a sense of humor, that's not okay. Andrew, did you read Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Is the sequence 77, is that because of COVID or because of like school shootings? Or something else entirely.
Who knows? Take your pick. Again. Well, Garrick didn't try to hitch a ride on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, no, I don't think there's been another shooting, but there may have been one that I missed. They happen pretty frequently.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, that rhymes. You're a poet.
It almost does.
Oh, we could just, hang out, get some coffee. I mean, well, are you doing anything this week? Oh, bye, Odo.
Woo! We're not bantering.
Not as tragic as Julius Caesar.
Andrew, I'm so sorry. Oh, gravy. Oh,
Bad kitty.
Andrew, I will point out that you can like watch it again as many times as you want.
Yep. Or, like if you have it playing, just let it play. Puma?
I promise.
That's a good boy. Sequence 77, Paul Dano, if they could afford him, which I doubt they could. But Paul Dano would be a great changeling.
Dun dun dun.
You can kiss my ass.
Oh, I thought they were gonna smooch. And shove it up your ass.
I don't want you to eat it. I want you to shove it up your ass. Sequence 77, exactly.
Oh my god, they're so gay.
They're just friends.
They're pals.
Just Kringle. Eat my rod, Julian. I want you to pull out my rod and eat it, Julian. Well, if you say so, Garrick, whatever you want. Vilcana,
When were
yes,
they
this is the
told to stop
hair.
being gay?
The same hair. Anyway. Like your mommy.
I think he did say that actually.
Well, we need to have an episode about something, don't we, Constable?
I'm so glad it wasn't as miserable to clean that up as you were anticipating, Andrew.
Yeah. If you need me, I'll be in the shitter.
Oh man, he poking. Oh,
You mean apart from your mother?
man, I love that little smug smile.
Anyway, shitter's calling.
It's saying, brother.
Chiz Kringle, that the handle is so they don't slip when they're getting out of the transporter. Well, there's your problem. Oh, never mind. $255 AD. Apparently, there are rear quarters in the runabouts that we just never see, and there's an area in the back of them that we don't usually see. Oh,
Nah.
oh, thank you, Sequence 77. That's very nice of you to say. I'm definitely going to kill you
I
now.
know, pie is great, ain't it?
Yeah, Andrew, right there. We saw the rear section in an episode of TNG. Yeah. Oh, it was the one where the Enterprise was frozen in time. I can't remember the title. Timescape. Yes, I couldn't think of it, Andrew. Yeah. Well, that's nice and neat. I didn't betray you except for the literal way that I betrayed you.
But bless your heart. Join me or die.
I can forgive you in my heart. Ruh-roh. And there we have it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So before we move on to play Wordle, because I noticed you yawning there, so I don't want to keep you too long.
Thank you.
No problem. What did you think of this episode?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the first half, so
Right. Yeah. You can't really judge it entirely, but
yeah.
I will say, watching it this time, I feel like I think the scenes between Garrick and Odo are all terrific, but that last scene with Odo and Garrick and Tane
Mm-hmm.
drags quite a bit for me. It's like, boy, they're just in that room talking for a long time. And it's almost entirely exposition stuff. Like the thing that made the Garrick and Odo scene in the runabout so cool is like it's character stuff, and they're kind of testing each other, and
Mm-hmm.
and it works really well. But most of the stuff with when they're in Tane's office, I guess on the Warbird, it's just plot stuff, and it's like, oh Jesus, like let's just get on with it. So, but other than that, I think it's a fine episode.
Oh, Ben, I hope you enjoyed the episode as well.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
us
glad you could
staring at
join
the
us.
screen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm so far it's at least of passing interest to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. 255 AD. I never really assumed that we were going to find that out, but I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me. Like they do kind
Yeah.
of.
They hint that she is
Yeah.
something to him.
That she's
Pretty
something very
clearly on that.
important to him. Yeah.
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 That was that. There's a lot that I'm just willing to give it because it's just a TV show.
Like
But
like what are some things that you're
like him, like it being so obvious in front of Odo that she's something to him.
I see that he wouldn't have kept that closer
Right.
to the
That
vest.
if she's important to him, then that knowledge is a liability. He ain't gonna let Odo see that. And he's good enough. He should have been able to.
He should have been able to keep it cool. Yeah.
Exactly. But and I wish that they could have, maybe had Odo, walk away or something, and then had him react while Odo couldn't see it, so the audience could see it, but Odo doesn't get it.
Right.
But again, that's why I'm just like, it's okay.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, but that is a good point.
And that's
cool.
that's the other thing. I think that's something that a quibble that I have with a lot of the Garrick stuff. It's interesting, but I'm just like, he's supposed to be like so good at keeping things close to the vest, but he has to be not so good that the audience can't figure out what the hell's going on.
It's hard. It sounds a lot like, and yeah, you're right. I mean, it sounds a lot like a quibble I have with pretty much every version, especially like in adaptations on TV and in movies and stuff, pretty much every version of Lex Luthor. Because like Lex, at least the modern version, the post-crisis version of Lex, when he's an evil businessman.
Yeah.
He's an evil businessman, but most people don't know that he's evil. Like publicly, he's actually really popular and people don't think of him or know that he's a criminal. So you would think he's got to be really smart and he's got to be really slick and he's got to keep all of this, completely quiet. So there's not even like rumors about him, or if there are, like they're not widespread. And yet, you always see him like on the phone talking openly about his crimes, talking directly like to gangsters and criminals and stuff. And it's like, if Lex was really this good that nobody other than like Clark and Lois suspect that he's a criminal, he can't be talking to gangsters on the phone, like in his office. Like he would have to be smarter than that. But eventually I just had to get over it and be like, look, it's a TV show.
Exactly. You hand wave it.
The audience has to get this information somehow. And
you don't want to spend all the time on just drawing that out,
right?
Or you end up with scenes like that last one. I did think there was a lot of how do I want to put it, a lot of tap dancing in that, a lot of sort of feeling each other out and thinking
Yeah.
things through.
I actually,
Gary Stu, that depends on your definition of evil.
my favorite line in that last scene is right near the beginning when Odo says, "I don't find any of this particularly interesting." Like the way you talk around each other so much, you end up not saying anything at all. It's like, yeah, goddamn right, Odo.
Yep.
I'm with Odo on that one.
Well, Odo, don't you know you say it best when you say nothing at all?
Aha.
And by that, Odo, I mean, shut up.
So, do you want to play Wordle?
Yes, let's.
Let's
Hopefully,
play Wordle.
this might be it for us. Apparently,
this might break the streak.
We're getting into, random obscure word territory.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to play Wordle. This is today's Wordle. As always, Dana does not actually see the Wordle board where she is at. She only has information that I relay to her. If you have played this one already and you know the answer, please do not give it away in the chat. But if you haven't played yet and you want to guess along with us, we welcome that. Let's all play Wordle together. So,
okay, so hang on.
Okay.
255 AD's question. So, pre-COVID, one of my summer gigs was working at Rock City. You can kind of see there these little earrings, something like that. And that is the mascot of Rock City, Rocky the Elf. So
there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Today's Wordle. Here we go. And your starter word, your first starter word is heart.
Yes, indeedy.
All right. Let's try that. H-E-A-R-T. Let's see what that gives us. That gives us, oh, that was a good one. We get an E in the right place.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay.
And an A and an R, but both in the wrong place.
Okay, we'll go with lions for the next one.
Okay.
We've been pretty successful doing that.
Your patented two-part starter word, lions.
I haven't actually patented it. I'm just saying.
Well, but okay, lions gives us nothing.
But that tells us that it does not use any of those letters. So that's helpful.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
No L, no I, no O, N, or S.
Okay, so R and A were in the wrong place. E was in the correct place.
R and A are in there, but in the wrong place. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it could have been reads. No, wait, H-E-A. No, A can't be the third letter because it has to be in the wrong,
right,
in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So it's probably something E, something A, something.
I would say, yeah. So you think ERA would be
in the middle.
The middle letters. You would guess.
David, the A can't be the third letter.
Yeah, the A is in the wrong place.
And A. It can't be an N. What's another good ending on D? A-D. E-R-A-D. Rebar could work. Wait.
Yeah,
because it would.
Yeah, it could because there's no we haven't tried B yet, so.
Right, and the R could be the first and the last.
And there could be two R's, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it wouldn't rule out. We know there's an R in it somewhere. It's just not the next to the last letter.
Right.
M is another good one. Let's see. M-E. Man. Repay could also work.
Yes, it could.
I would go with repay over rebar because that checks two letters, the P and the Y.
Do you want to try that one?
Yeah, I guess that. Let's
Repay?
go for that. I'm still, going through.
Right. Let's try repay.
Let's try that.
REPAY. Repay. That's not it, but the R is the first letter, and the A is the fourth letter, and there is a P, but it is not in the right place. So the last letter has to be P.
RE something AP.
Because the P is there, but it's in the wrong place.
Mhm.
So the only place for the P is the last
right.
letter. So it's RE something AP. Remap?
No.
Is that a word?
Yeah, that's what Andrew said. Remap could fit. Hang on,
Remap.
I'm still.
Recap.
Yes, I think recap. Well, remap or recap. Yeah, I'm going with recap first and then remap. We've got 2 guesses left, don't we?
We have 3 guesses left.
We have 3 guesses left.
You want to go for recap?
Homebody, I love you.
What does homebody? I'm not looking at
repair.
I don't think so.
Not so much. Have to add another block on the end there. Azalea Jane. Somehow I think they wouldn't choose that one.
Refap. That's funny. Because I mean, why? It makes it sound like you did it wrong the first time.
Or maybe you're just like you've watched this episode before.
I got it.
And you like it, so you're watching it again.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so recap.
Let's go for recap.
Okay, RECAP. Recap. That's it.
Yay!
Fourth guess. We are still undefeated.
Homebody. I'm thinking it's kind of late. I'm thinking I'm gonna head out because I was like, is that? Good for us.
That's right. Good team. We do. All of us collectively.
All of us together.
Excuse me, got to go refap real quick. It'll just take a second, trust me.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so shall we wrap
yes, let's. Don't forget to look in the description for the charity links, because it's wonderful to have the chance to help people. Actually, I did a video about that just today. So a little bit of a surprise. What are you doing? Why is my brother visiting you? Just kidding. So anyway.
Wrong Philip.
Yeah.
Azalea, no, next week we are doing the last half of the Hilda movie. And then we're doing we'll do part 2. And part 2 of Improbable Cause is titled The Die is Cast. And we will watch that in 2 weeks. In 1 week, we're finishing Hilda. So
awesome. Steve, your t-shirt is apparently awesome.
So
yeah, and then
it is pretty awesome.
And then Friday, next Friday is Escort.
Next Friday is Escort. This Friday is nothing.
This Friday, I am in the clear. And yeah. And then next week, you have a video coming out Monday, though we don't know what it is yet.
I haven't figured out what it's going to be yet.
But concurrent video, and we'll be watching Hilda. Yep, we got. I'm really excited about that, and we'll be able to talk about it next week on the stream.
Indeed, we will. Indeed, we will. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you, like Dana just said, next week for the second half of the Hilda movie, and we'll finish up our Hilda watch.
Same Hilda time, same Hilda channel.
Same Hilda channel. Same Steve channel. Same Hilda time. Steve channel. One last time. One last same Hilda time.
That's right. This is it for Hilda.
Yep.
That's it. Goodbye,
She's
Hilda.
History after this. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Oh, Dana's wrong. Bye, everybody.
I do that sometimes. Good night.
Bye, everybody.